Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another WriterGreg School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy Submit Saturday Article Critique. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to have your content included in a future article, please visit wgc.bz/submit. Fill out the Google form and we'll see you in a future episode. This is another article from Kitoypoy's World of Wizard's Peak, The Shards of Thea. And if you're following on YouTube, maybe a couple days ago, you saw an article on the Mother Bunnies, but this is the journeys of a Momma Bunny. So we'll go ahead in here. Again, this is a travel log or other document associated with discovery. I really like the themes that World Anvil used for summer camp, the discovery theme, the monstrosity theme, those different things, because it really can tie, you can have like 4 or 5 articles really tied well together. So, okay, yeah, Ambrosia the Shard Drifter is what we reviewed earlier. All right, try not to get distracted by links popping up in Discord. All right, so let's jump into it as a nice and accurate catalog of the Shards of Thea. The quarterly journal, Journeys of a Momma Bunny, is the definitive resource for information about the different shards of Thea. The celebrated author/adventurer, Ambrosia the Shard Drifter, has set a goal of visiting each of the 7,000 plus sky islands of the Shattered Moon and documenting her visits. Her pithy writing and maternal point of view have made her one of the known world's most successful writers. Okay, the known worlds. Okay. Yeah, no problem there. I subscribe as the co-pilot tier to get Mama Ambrosia's recipes and her behind the purple veil content. Mama and some of her older children come up with the meals using local ingredients at the more hospitable shards they visit. I love to try out the recipes, but some of the ingredients are hard to get. We don't have a lot of giant crickets dirt side, and lunar honey is really expensive. Okay, Sergeant Killflayer likes to cook. That is so fun. Yeah, he likes to try out recipes. He's subscribed. Oh, the Behind the Purple Veil, that is cool. He subscribes so he can get the recipes. He likes Sergeant Killflayer, the orc. Likes to cook. I love that personality that's shining through in the quote. Journeys of a Momma Bunny documents the travels of Ambrosia the Shard Drifter as she dutifully travels the Shards of Thea with the stated purpose of visiting each of the 7,641 known shards. If she succeeds, she will be the first
Only 10 minutes left, everyone. Let's squeeze out the words.
First sophont to achieve the feat. Ambrosia has defined a visit as putting at least 1 foot on the soil or in the water of each shard. Some of the shards are inhospitable, even hostile to the living. So in some cases, a foot to the ground is all that's possible. Okay, I like the clarification of that, of what is a visit. She has to put 1 foot on the soil or in the water. Cool. She travels in a large moon balloon called the Cloud Warren, and her entire family travels with her. When she sets her goal, she didn't want to forego the comforts of home, so she brings her home with her. Her crew is composed of her 2 husbands, Buster and Boglo, their 21 children, and a trusted crew who has become like family. Okay, that's cool to know. The Cloud Warren is heavily armed, able to fend off most trouble, and has a handful of emergency elemental drives to quickly flee trouble if they need it. Okay, I like this additional information here, even though it's not about the journals itself. I really like learning a little bit more about the vehicle in which these journeys take place. But I could definitely see the Cloud Warren being an article all in of its own. But yeah, I like learning about that in the context of this article. Catalog of the Shards. As she travels, Ambrosia is creating the best available travelogue of the shards of Thea. When possible, she likes to spend an appropriate amount of time at each shard. For the smallest, nameless shards, she makes a quick stop and records their coordinates. The majority of the shards are small, up to a mile in diameter. For them, a survey of a few hours is usually sufficient. For the larger shards, she likes to spend a few days, up to a week, cataloging them. Okay, maybe a comma for the larger shard. Uh, I like, okay, talking about the smallest nameless shards. But, okay, I don't know if you probably explain it somewhere else, but this might be a good place to talk about. You talk about the smaller ones. A paragraph of saying there are shard remnants that are not included in the account because they are smaller than X. However, she still does a flyby and catalogs them or something like that, because it would just be interesting. I really love the Easter egg about the 7,641 islands of the Philippines represented here as the known shards. But it would be nice to know a clarification so that we understand more of a distinction of what a shard is. That a shard has to be able to sustain its own gravity. I don't know how, but is the gravity by the shards, or is the gravity from what's remaining of the moon before the shards? If it's floating, it's a shard. But yes, but if it's the size of a Volkswagen bus, is that a shard? If it's, if accidentally, oh yeah, there's definitely magic hand wave in there that you haven't figured out. I totally understand that, and I guess I'm just being a little pedantic on that topic because you have a very specific number, but shrapnel from an exploding moon comes in all shapes and sizes, and so it'd just be interesting to who categorized that. I mean, who made the definition of what is a shard and how to be included? I mean, the definition of Pluto has changed, for crying out loud. So, yeah, a big boulder / car-sized vehicle might be a good limit. Yeah, because I'm sure there are some of the islands of the Philippines that might be as small as a sandbar that pokes out of the ocean without vegetation. I don't know, but they still consider it one of the islands. So I could definitely see if a sandbar that pokes out of the ocean is considered an island sufficient to count in that. Uh, a boulder the size of a semi truck could also be considered a shard. But again, your call. I'm just asking the questions. Ambrosia and her crew make notes of any settlements and their makeup. They dock at the settlement to trade, send messages back to their publisher, and try out the local flavors. They send scout ships to fly over and under the shard to survey major or unusual geographic features. They record the flora, fauna, and resources, taking special care to suss out any valuable resources that the rest of the shattered moon could use. Oh, yeah, the number of islands depends on if it's high or low tide. See, I would have been of the opinion that if it disappears depending on the tide, it shouldn't be counted. If it can't be inhabited, it doesn't count. But see here, I like what you have here, that inhabitability, or the ability to inhabit one of the shards, is not a requirement for it to be a shard. But yeah. Finally, on their last night on a shard, they hold a great feast in islands included, okay, inviting any local dignitaries and bigwigs to join them. Mama Ambrosia and her culinarily inclined children use local goods along with ingredients from their well-stocked larder. They cook using the flames that inflate the Cloud Warren's great balloon. Together with talented locals, they create the finest meal that these mostly isolated shard dwellers have ever experienced. Over the years, Mama Ambrosian has discovered that this departing feast serves many purposes. She and her family get to fully experience the culture and cuisine of the far-flung Sky Islands. They get to try out interesting local recipes and techniques. Finally, the great feast integrates the guests to the Flopsy Lappin family. The entire shattered moon is covered with people from all walks of life who remember Ambrosia and her family fondly and are willing to help them if they need it. Again, I love the hominess, the warmth, I just love this. Over the years, the popularity of journeys has grown larger and larger. They started out with a small following among only the rabbit folk and some gnomish allies of Thea's vindicators. Ambrosia's fame grew when she reached 3,000 shards visited sometime in her 8th year. Subscriptions to the quarterly publication started taking off in the zone and Sovereignty, allowing the family to upgrade their ship to the large fortified Cloud Warren. Their new fortified ship allows them to visit dangerous shards that were once off limits to them. As their fame has grown, they've been able to use their influence to travel with Vindicator patrols. As a result, they were able to briefly visit the Unshard and the Shard of Arrows. At this rate, and their new ship, Ambrosia believes it will take another 8 years to complete her goal. What's the life expectancy of the rabbit folk? She started at 40. She's been going for 8 years. It may take another 8 years. Well, yeah, the numbers may be inconsistent, but I'm just hoping that it's...
Sprinters and marchers, time is up.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it's expected that she would be able to live through this. Awesome things. Okay, so what's awesome? I just love the bunny. She'll be an old granny rabbit, of course. I really like this. I like the journeys. I think it might be... Okay, awesome. It's a fun article. I love that Sergeant Killflair is a cook. I love the great idea of the great feast as a way thing here. Bored? Never. Confused? Just the definition of what a shard is. Delete? Nope, don't. Expand. Has she ever been used for diplomatic purposes? Is she a neutral, trusted party? that can be used to travel between worlds? Has her fame reached places she has not yet visited? Because we're starting to get into the far-flung sky islands. Do people invite her to come to their island next that she has yet to visit? How has her celebrity and the goal impacted the islands? Oh, yeah, yeah, of course, Kit, of course. And hopefully these are the kind of questions that could help build out the lore if you desire um, after summer camp. I'd let you know I love the fact that you have on the Cloud Warren that there is a trusted crew who has become like family. I'd love to know more about the family, especially if they're not rabbit folk. Have any of their family decided to stay behind on one of the shards? Or they've decided to make a quick stop back at home to drop off some of the kids who are tired of the nomadic lifestyle? Forgive me for asking this question. I can't believe I'm asking it. These are rabbits. Do they have concerns about overpopulation and filling up the Cloud Warren too quickly? It's been 8 years. Yeah. So do they have to, shovel out a bunch of the kids every once in a while because there's too many of them? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm glad to engage with the material. This is funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, breed like rabbits is a phrase for a literal reason. So I'm just wondering if there are now shards, beautiful shards that were previously unpopulated, that a couple of the kids and grandkids or great grandkids decided to stay on. You know, is this the way for the rabbit kind? Instead of the double dozen, or what was it? To increase the influence of rabbits around. Maybe one last question. I'm sorry. I'm just having too much fun with that. What about how long does it take for this is a shattered moon, so we have the moon is of a specific size. The shards are of a specific size and geography. If How long does it take for the moon ship or the moon balloon or the Cloud Warren to go around it? If they were going in a straight line without stopping, how long would it take them to circumscribe, if that's the right word, to travel around all of the shards at their greatest diameter? Okay, does it take a year to go around this?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Better start writing anyway.
Or is it a 5-year journey via balloon to actually make it all the way around? Because how often do they go home? How often do they go back to, drop off the quarterly stuff? It would just be interesting to know that. I've been avoiding the math, but I should definitely think about it. Sorry. That's my hard sci-fi brain kicking in this critique. Because hopefully by knowing that kind of stuff, it could help inform, how far-flung are these far-flung shards? I don't know. And you can make the balloons travel as fast or as slow as you want. I don't know. Because, around the world in 80 days used to be an extraordinary feat of marvel and technology. Now, spaceships can travel around the world in 10 minutes from orbit because of their speed. Yeah, post summer camp. Yep, there we go. So thank you so much, kitoypoy, for allowing me to delve and ask you too many questions about your articles and filling up your creative queue for post summer camp. I really appreciate it. If any of you would like me to go on tangents inspired by your fiction or world building, please visit wgc.bz/submit for another to submit your content for a future Submit Saturday. Thanks, everyone. See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching this feedback frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.